Hey guys, and welcome to another educational virtual vlogger, EVV. So, before I begin, if you're wondering about the background, this is the view from Stevens Institute of Technology, which would be the future college that I'm going to. It's basically a small Tangle college located in Hoboken, and has these beautiful views, as you can see. And I think this would be a great backdrop too, especially it's like hard times. Literally, the college I'm about to go to is going to have views like this, on top of being a great school already, and it's just very great, like a very rigorous school for computer science and engineering, like other technical majors, as well, just being like a small school, which is something like I feel like I can more easily put myself out there in a small school because I am an introvert and things like that. But anyway, that's not going to be the main topic of this discussion today. It's really more going to be about AP Calculus. So see, a lot of my channel is about that. That's basically how I started my channel. This is making silly little songs about AP Calculus. And now I say silly little. I didn't think they were silly little when I started, but now I really do. And I'm kind of making this video to kind of clear up any confusion about it, why I used to make them, and why I'm planning on no longer making them, and what I've really learned about AP Calculus that I didn't expect after taking it. It's a different reply than my last EVV, where it's kind of really discouraging people from taking it, because things have changed since then, and I basically have a story to tell. I basically have now a newfound recommendation and a newfound passion for AP Calc in a different way than before. So let's start with the first thing that changed it. The first thing was a test that I took recently. And by the way, I apologize for the sounds coming on. It's my PTAC. I really have no way to turn it off. It's kind of just like a byproduct of living in a city apartment, basically, but whatever. So here. So basically see, this is a test that I took, basically, and I've got a lot of these answers wrong. The picture kind of out of order because it's been just randomly drag them onto my desktop, whatever. See, basically, this one got -3 points. This one, we completely got the answer wrong. Didn't really understand it. And this one, my calc teacher said okay, but probably next time would have been not as good as it could be. I think that's why she said okay, without really taking away points, but just to kind of make it seem less bad, I guess. But still, I don't think I would have gotten credit on for the B exam. I think that's what she should say. So we have, so this one I got -2 points. Another one, this one you see, look at all these wrong answers. Only 6 out of 17. It's pathetic, literally. This is pathetic. I can't believe I'm doing this bad. And just look at this. All the answers, I literally filled them in all because I got them all wrong. Just look. Every single thing. Crazy. And I didn't mean to open that one preview. But just imagine this. This is based on an alarming accumulation of silly mistakes, straight up knowledge gaps, and things that just simply can't get from just memorizing formulas, which I believe is my biggest mistake. But maybe we should rewind a little bit. Rewind to, let's bring out our notes. I didn't mean to quick look this. Let's bring out our notes. Let's rewind to Monday, June 19th. The day I was inspired to challenge myself with AP Calc. So basically, it really started kind of a month before, in May, really, was when it fully started. And it was basically when I randomly asked one day, I asked ChatGPT, make a parody song on the unit circle. So I didn't really understand that well. So I asked it to make it. It made a great parody song to the tune of 7 rings. So basically, I asked ChatGPT to help me make a parody song on the unit circle to help me memorize it. So this is basically a very memorization filled thing. It's really knowing where the sine equals pi over 2. We know what the sine of pi over 2 is, what the sine of where the sine equals 1/2, where the sine equals root 2 over 2, where the sine equals negative root 2 over 2, where the cosine equals root 3 over 2. Basically, all this stuff was like things I had to memorize, basically. So I had the idea of basically making a song to help ChatGPT, and it was to the tune of 7 rings, I think, if I remember correctly. Like, this is a song that I didn't release. It was not very well sung. It was not, I wouldn't really say very well written even. It was still written on like ChatGPT 3.5. But my friends liked it. It kind of like got that point across that I could really use something like this to study it. Because I genuinely felt like it was like a good study tool. So basically, like, it worked. I thought I should use it again. But then there were more challenging topics in pre-calculus related to trig, and these things were not really. First of all, I got sick on one of those. I can make a song for that. I think the other one, though, it was just not really song worthy. They were like kind of like too mathematical to really make songs on. And plus like ChatGPT was my really only research. I didn't really even know about like other people making songs like this even. So it was really all new to me, because like I'm not really a singer. I never really kind of was, but I always want to try to find like new innovative ways of doing things. So then come June 16th, I discover this YouTube channel. And I'm not going to say the name. But basically, this channel was basically of I'd say like a college level girl, a computer science student. I'm not going to say the school because I don't want to give any doxing information about this person. Basically, she'd make songs, like really like well sung, well musical, like very musical songs about calculus, pre-calculus, algebra, basically everything, and basically like everything math related. And I was really intrigued by it. I really felt like when I heard these songs, it was like, if I could learn calculus like this, I'll do very well. And I do very well in AP calculus. Because I like learning material in a fun and cohesive way. I like listening to music because I find it empowering. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel alive. So I was really kind of thinking basically like, well, I don't like singing. I would sing if it's basically what's required to me basically make music that can help me study and stuff. So I found this channel, and I was like, and I watched a few of her videos when we were like listening to her songs, but I decided actually on Monday, June 19th, on this day, I was at my school's end of the year barbecue. It's basically like a party that we have at the end of the year, kind of basically like the last few days of school, kind of just like celebrate the end of the year. We all go outside. We have basically a big picnic. It was like 80 degrees out and sunny. It was very beautiful, kind of. And we would and we went back lawn in my school, and yet like a lot of the students were playing sports stuff. They were like hanging out with their friends stuff. I was not really like that. I was just because like I'm an introvert and stuff. And I was immersed in my iPhone because I wasn't really like with my friends and stuff. It was like I was like with my friends are part of it, but like I'm just not really a sport guy. I'm not someone who like want to play soccer with my friends. It was kind of really like just seems basically an excuse to like have like a nicer like outdoor place to browse for a few hours, basically to scroll and whatever. Which I know it sounds like kind of like addicting, but that was just me. So basically. But on that day, little did I know that it would completely change my life. Little did I know this day would completely change my life. I see that this educational singer, YouTuber, made a new Instagram story on that day highlighting her tutoring business. So I decide to DM her. Very casually, might I say. I really decide to just tell her basically. So I originally told her it was also involving ChatGPT kind of. So like ChatGPT was in some way related. So basically, I said I've used ChatGPT to make several math songs, basically, and then she's like, "Ooh, tell me more." So then I eventually play her the song that I made on Trig of Any Angle. It's the tune of Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift. It's kind of like offbeat, and so it's not perfect. I think I have it actually still in my I'm voice memos. Let me see. I don't have any sensitive information, so I think we are okay. So let's see. Actually, let me just go to Trig of Any Angle song. This is the original one I sent her, actually. It's not really very good, but like, you see the music was all kind of, this one was still basically just singing over the music, basically, as I was listening to it. It's like, the music playing on my MacBook speakers. It was really, like, unprofessional. So basically, just something like, maybe a second. I used to fear those angles, left me feeling lost and blue, but now I've found 4, 5, and 8, 15, 17, they'll take you there in a 30, 60, 90, fear, take an angle like 225 degrees, let's say, subtract 180, the reference angle is on display, in radians if theta is pi over 4, let's say, subtract pi over 2, the reference angle comes your way, strength. Using the reference angle will show no complaint. Cosine is negative, so use cosine, negative cosine theta. Sine is positive, sine theta, it's great. When sine... So anyway, you've seen enough of this. I don't want to torment you anymore in bad singing and bad, like offbeatness of this song. But anyway, so basically I sent this song to this person. I'm keeping anonymous for this whole video. I better not say this person's name at all. But basically, I sent her, and she's like, wow, this is great, actually. I love Taylor Swift. I love these parodies. It seems like you really have something. So I actually really told her, the reason why I messaged her. I basically told her, I'm planning on taking AP Calc next year. Like literally up on the spot. It was almost like I can give up and just take core calc before I even found this person. So basically, I messaged her and said, and then she was like, and I basically told her all about me. I told her I want major in computer science. I want to do this. I told her that I make apps. And I'm really interested in this stuff. Cause I was really trying to show exactly how we are similar, because this girl also majored in computer science. So I was really trying to find basically how similar we were and stuff in this way. So I DM her now, and we eventually work out a tutoring agreement. Where I basically pay her $50 an hour to meet with her, or meet with me, rather, should I say, for 2 hours a week. I never told her how long. I was originally planning for the entire year, basically, from all the way I was originally planning to you'd still be meeting with her now, but she just took it as basically just for AP Calc and SAT prep, kind of like for over the summer, basically get me prepared for Calc and get me prepared to take the SAT, not to actually do well in the actual thing, and that's how she took it, really. And because I ended up taking the digital SAT on October 7th. I traveled up to Montreal to take it. This is before it was available in the US, because I found the paper SAT just did not work well for my needs. So anyway, let's move on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So we seem to be making good progress. Good progress. Come August. I learn my basic derivative rules. Like the power and product rule. And get really good at digital SAT math. Is by this point where I'm regularly eclipsing 750 on the digital SAT math practice tests. But then, on August 25th, this tutor decides that she can't tutor me anymore. She becomes too busy, and which makes sense because now she's junior in high school and doesn't have time for private tutoring. I feel devastated. But still, power through it. And end up rehiring a tutor I originally hired in spring who works for my school district, so I'm able to work with him for free. And we meet even more frequently because I don't have to worry about paying. And it really seems on the up and up. He seems like a great tutor. And using the mnemonic devices like making songs, which he is great. I persevered through the beginning of the year. Netting me a 1450. I don't know if that's in English, so I guess 690 E 760M, let's say, on the DSAT on October 7th, and a B plus in AP Calc in the first marking period. Which, mind you, AP Calc is an AP weighted class course. All APs are weighted weights. In terms of the weighted GPA, a B minus, B plus actually, is still around equivalent of an A plus in an actual, like in a core calc. Because basically in my school how it works is basically the APs are kind of graded on a 5.0 scale. So if you do well in there, it pushes your weighted GPA above 4.0. Even if you have a B plus in there, it pushes your weighted GPA up. So I was really looking on the up and up. I was really excited and I didn't feel any regrets about taking AP Calc, and it was all the up and up really. And that's when I started this YouTube channel. That's when I really did say why don't I share this unique form of learning? Why don't I really show let's X out this note for now. Yeah, why don't I really show? So basically, showed. So you see, basically, I made this channel. I started with the derivative rules song. It's actually a song they wrote back in August originally. Actually, the original tutor kind of, so like try to memorize the whole thing. Then I changed it in November when I was actually like learning in class, like kind of like put some of the newfound information, like the quotient and chain rules that like I didn't feel like I really captured in the original song because like I didn't really learn it yet. So that was the first one I did. So basically, like that song kind of was really like a stepping stone for me. It was onto the tune of Riptide, kind of like the "You're ready to rock, but you can find the slopes of any curve," and that one. And basically, it was off to a strong start. People liked it. People thought it was catchy, and it really seemed like it was on the other end. I was thinking like if I could memorize a small topic like this and memorize all the rules, then it's good. And I felt like, and I could really picture myself. I could really hear the song in my head while I was taking the tests on it even. And I continued to do it for the rest of chapter 2, basically. I continued to do it all the way up to like the end of chapter 3. It was really once I came to optimization, linearization, like other topics like that, it was really like a song is not the way to teach this information. I would say even with like extreme MVT, Rolle's theorem, the first order test, there are a lot of intricacies in calculus problems that are not really explained like a song. And this is when the beginning of my downfall came, with this marking period, really, marking period 3, when I was doing basically like when I was starting like this new chapter and stuff. Because it's not, you can't really explain all the intricacies of calculus in a 3-minute song. And again, the thing is also, you're not trying to memorize the formulas. So basically, let's continue on with the story now. Let's actually, should we continue on? Let's write down so I can be kind of do it. So this works well for the first and second marking period. But come late January, it begins to fall apart. As I learn more advanced topics with more intricacies. Is no longer as easy. Passing a test is no longer as singing a song in your head. So that was basically when I was like thinking basically, because also at this time, I realized my previous tutor, the district employee, was not able to help me anymore. Was not able to really help me because, I mean, he could, but like it would not be in a reasonable time frame. Reasonably help me then, let's say. Reasonably help me because he hasn't taught calculus in a while. Let's say over 30 years, actually. He hasn't taught calculus in over 30 years. To put this in perspective, 30 years, in over 30 years. To put this in perspective, 30 years ago, the skyline as we know it wasn't built. The World Trade Center there didn't exist. They were just the Twin Towers. All those buildings like Jersey City and stuff were just, was nothing basically. It was like all you saw basically there was like, basically all you saw on that side there was a clock tower and maybe like a few, maybe like other like old buildings there. And then on the other side of the river, like none of this was built up back then. None of this was, those were just like two old like boxy towers there. So like that's just I'm putting this back like that long ago. So just imagine like the last time we taught calculus was that long ago basically. And the skyline is a good indicator of like how much has changed since then. And while calculus itself hasn't changed that much, he probably forgot a lot of it because it's, again, 30 years is a long time. And basically, what has happened is he just couldn't reasonably teach himself because he had to relearn things that the last time he really taught was basically when the towers were still standing, when the Jersey City waterfront was nothing but a few industrial rail yards on the Hudson, basically. Just give you an idea of how old that was. So basically, that was that. And basically said like he could redo it, but like he could teach me it, but it would take like a week. And like I don't really have a week because like I've testing quizzes all the time. I have testing quizzes every week and stuff. So I was really like beginning to lose hope almost. And I was even using ChatGPT to help me with some of my homework because like I was like literally just like asking ChatGPT for the solutions literally multiple times during our tutoring sessions. And when I was doing that, I knew this has to change. This has to change. This tutor is not working well for me. I was like, kind of like not thinking like should I pay for someone really? Because like I don't want to waste a lot of my money because like especially after what happened with the tutor this summer and now realizing that this format with the song format is not really the best way to learn stuff, and having someone who preaches that as my tutor is not really that good of an idea anyway at the end of the day. So I was thinking basically like I'm not rehiring this person because plus they don't even time tutoring anymore. So I was really thinking I don't want to pay someone really. I was like thinking, so then I ended up going to a source most of you wouldn't expect to find your tutor. Reddit. More specifically, the AP Students subreddit. Let's go there right now, actually. And like, this is really a toxic place, to be quite honest. It's like, I'm not going to feature everyone's comments. Let's see. Any APs that here? Yeah, there are actually like a lot of serious comments, but like there are also a lot of trolls and it's just a really like toxic place. But anyway, on this subreddit, I found one guy. I'm not going to show any of the message. I don't really want to dox his name or anything. I found one guy. Let's just call him Mr. K. Let's just call him that, even though it's a student. It's a high school senior, but I'm calling him Mr. K because I really respect him like that. I feel like he's really insightful, as you'll find later, and he is really, and like he seems like a troll at first. Like he seemed like when I actually first messaged him over the summer, and I at first it's like, and he knew over something, he predicted that something like this would happen. That calculus is very hard, and that I won't be able to learn it all through making silly songs about it and doing. And like even when I started this YouTube channel, he was one of the first anti-supporters of it. He was one of the first people that basically said, the singing is terrible. This teaches nothing. If you really want to teach something, don't sing, dumbass. He literally said that to me. And I was really taken aback by it. I was really offended by it. I thought he was just a bully. I thought he was just like not appreciating what I do. But anyway, he turns out to be, I find this one guy, basically I'll say it, this one guy, let's call him Mr. K, who is it? Who, let's see, who seems like a troll at first. like a troll and a bully at first. But then I read more about this guy into the comments he's made in some of the other subs, and I'm like, wow, this guy's really talented. He got an A in the AP Calc BC class and a 5 in the exam. I was like, this is what I want. I want to get that because, again, I'm going to Stevens Institute of Technology. While it might not be the most prestigious school in terms of like acceptance rate, especially because I'm a senior and I've already gotten in, it's also has a very rigorous program, and some of the most rigorous classes are the freshman calc classes. So if I could even test out of one of them, I would feel like I'd feel lucky. If I could even test out of one of the freshman calc classes at Stevens, I'd feel lucky because it is notorious in the Stevens subreddit for those classes to be very hard, basically, and like I just feel like I learned better in like a more like in a high school class. We're kind of a more like, again, like I can't really say because like I'm going to college soon. I don't want to say that like I learned better in a high school class than a college class because obviously it really depends. I feel like on the professor versus the high school teacher and a lot of different factors. So basically, I end up and like me and Mr. K. Mr. K is actually a senior in high school. Like I said before, he is a senior in high school who last year got an A in BC and a 5 in the exam. And I'm calling him Mr. K because I really, like I said before, I respect him like that now. Well, I thought it was a troll at first, and I was like, about to call him by his username, but I don't really want to because I don't want to dox him at all. So I'm calling him Mr. K. But also, because I respect him. I feel like he genuinely deserves a title. So I DM Mr. K, like totally seriously, on basically, this is like big break from like our like loosey-goosey conversation. I'm kind of like, what do you think of this? Am I dumb as hell? Whatever. Like, things like that. But like, and I actually go in him and seriously say, I'm struggling in AP Calc now. I need a tutor. Is there any way you could work with me for let me even say like $35 an hour? And decide to hire him as a tutor. And this is where it all changed. And this is where I learned the truth. It is not about memorizing everything. Rather, it is trying to derive formulas and use intuition to help you solve the problems. Basically, to look at it kind of like swimming. You won't learn to swim by memorizing how to swim. You won't. Like, I can memorize how to do a backstroke, but in the pool I could barely even float on my back. And that's because I have simply not really enough practice. I'm not, like, I swim a lot for workouts, but I'm just like, I don't really know how to float my back. And that's not really a problem. But like, I can't suddenly magically learn to float on my back by memorizing my head, making a mnemonic for how to float on my back. The same thing is ultimately with calculus. It is like swimming. It is a skill they basically have to do by learning it. It is a skill that you have to kind of practice and make your mistakes. You can use tools to help you. You can it's okay to use ChatGPT if it plus to help you, as long as you try to do the work first and really understand what it's saying. It's okay to look up on the internet, as long as you really understand what you're doing and something and you learn from it, basically. You're not just doing it to cheat, you're like actually trying to learn from it. Like that really changed the whole outlook for me. Basically, you have to look at it as swimming. You have to look at, and that really made me a lot more motivated for it. You have to look at it as, you have to really think of it like swimming. You have to really think of it like you're learning a new skill, not like you're learning a bunch of facts about it. Because calculus is not a memorization course. If it was rote memorization, everyone could do it if they just memorized it in such a unique way. If making songs that helpful for calc, everyone would be making them for, and there are a lot of calc songs on YouTube. A lot of them are made purely for fun. They're made purely as entertainment parodies toward the end of the school year. Maybe it's like basically kind of like reflect on like how hard of a year has been. They're not really made as rote memorization to understand a topic. And I was always like wondering like why are people missing out on this great opportunity? And I realized this is not a great opportunity. This is not something that you should keep your rosy image of. And I apologize for not having like more like visual effects in this section, but maybe you should just treat this as a podcast, because like I really do not want to share my face. I do not want to do that right now because I'm just not great at eye contact, and I'm kind of like a mumbler, but I don't know if I'm mumbling. I think I'm talking pretty clearly right now, but I really do not want to. I'm just thinking for a second. Like, if you just memorize, you're never going to learn something. When the actual test comes up, you're going to fail it if you just memorize. So you need to really have this thing. It is swimming, basically. It is not like memorizing the 50 states. It's like theoretically I could probably, let me see how many of 50 states I can remember. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. I can't remember anymore. I remember them all in fourth grade, like that 50 Nifty States song. But again, I'd probably pass a geography test with flying colors if I memorize all the states. You know, let me actually get a blank map of the United States to see how I'll do. Because I'll show this an example, actually. So let me do blank map of the United States. Blank map of the United States with the state lines. So let's see. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. I don't remember in alphabetical order. Next one, let's just say Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas. Something begins with a B. It's like I'm literally already forgetting. That's because but again, that also doesn't mean that just because I directly memorized all 50 states doesn't mean that I really understand geography really. And I understand geography much better than memorizing 50 states. You have to, and learning calculus is not like that. Learning calculus is really, it's really different. It's more, it's like you have to really practice it. You have to learn it. You have to really, it's like swimming again. It's like, if I was a father and I watched a video, or not watched a video, but if I was a father and I had a 5-year-old, and I had a little 5-year-old, and I had him watch a video basically on how to swim in a river. And then I eventually was like, suppose I was on this pier, and then I eventually told him basically, okay, watch a video, now try swimming in Manhattan. He'd most likely drown, and that's because he didn't have the practice. He didn't really have the skill. First, swimming across Hudson River is it's not something that I'd recommend that anyone ever tries. It's a very hard thing to do, and it's really deadly and stuff if you're not careful. But the point of this is, you can't learn how to swim across Hudson River with a YouTube video. It's a real skill. You have to basically learn how to kick your feet through the water, basically defeat the current, move against the thing. It's something that really needs practice. You need to practice in a pool. You need to practice in the ocean. You practice in basically any kind of body of water and work your way up to the Hudson. You can't just watch a video basically hey guys, I'm going to teach you how to swim the Hudson River today. Well, at the end of the video, you'll learn how to swim the Hudson River and be able to effortlessly swim from Jersey City to Manhattan. It's never going to be like that, ever. And Calculus, the same thing. It's never going to be like where it could solve like complex integral equation, for example, by just rote memorization. It's like, it may work in some cases, but calculus problems are nuanced. There's a reason why my optimization song only covered one specific problem. It's simply too much to ask for to cover the whole thing in a 3-minute song. It'll be terrible. It'll be cringy. It'll be useless. It's all kind of is useless. It's kind of like, it's about ladybugs after all. It's like, I mean, to an uninformed person, just a song about ladybugs. It's ridiculous, kind of. It is about optimization, kind of. But it's like very well sung, useless crap, kind of. It's like, I wouldn't really say well sung, but like, this is definitely, I didn't say that my singing was actually quite good in that song. Maybe this was like an easy song to sing, but like, this doesn't really make it a good song if it's not that educational. So the point is basically, like Mr. K said, and again, if you don't, just to reiterate on who Mr. K is, he's that student who got a 5 in the exam and an A in the class when I'm hiring as a tutor. So basically he said, anytime I'm working through every problem with me, whenever I don't get it, basically every Saturday afternoon, on top of remediation I'm going to at school for this, I'm basically really hoping that I can actually get it from this, from actually trying to solve the problems, from intuition, from not trying to just memorize everything, because that's ridiculous. So I'm probably not going to make any more songs for my channel. I'm probably not going to do that, because just there's no shortcut to success. Look over here. Look at all these buildings. Look at right here. This is the Chase Manhattan building, for example. This is the Goldman Sachs Tower. These are the headquarters of all these buildings. These banks all, just imagine, like inside this building, inside this building, inside this building. There are inside this building. There are teams of talented people using calculus and stuff, making millions of dollars a year for complex stock market things, basically, like banking things, stuff, business, like business math, like really high level. Like this is well beyond like your consumer math. This is well beyond any like business math course they take in high school. Like this is like real high end calculus, like well above AP Calc level, and they're making millions of dollars a year doing it. Not because they memorized it. They didn't just sing themselves a song to memorize the formulas. They had to practice and years of schooling. And now they're making 7 figures. And the reason why they're making 7 figures is because this is a very niche skill. It's not something that a lot of people know how to do. And it's not something they could easily learn by just watching a 3-minute video, making a mnemonic, making a song. You can't easily learn it that way. It's cool, but you can't easily learn it that way. So that's basically where I stand with this right now, basically. And I would suggest never, ever, ever think there's a, I wouldn't say never, ever, ever, but just be very careful when it comes to shortcuts. There's no shortcut to success, ultimately. And again, like this is a quote that I have from Dhar Mann. Dhar Mann is actually a very inspirational creator. You might be surprised. You might think Dhar Mann is just a, Dhar Mann is just basically a ridiculous kids creator and no one understands him. His life lessons are really valuable. Like, let's look at this one. Pretty girl fixed nice to use boys, instantly regrets it. What she does is she basically uses, like let's use an example basically. I don't want to play too much of it. She basically goes to this cashier, first thing, and she tries to like get some makeup, and basically she then says, she's like, "You're the cutest brat I've ever met. Could you use your employee discount on me?" So basically, he ended up giving her his 30% employee discount plus a 20% coupon, so she gets 50% off. And basically, kind of like used him, kind of. I mean, she used him. So then they're in the cafeteria for the next scene, and she realizes she has a physics project that's due the next day, and she basically thinks that she could use her pretty privilege to then get the nerd of the class, kind of like, this guy's a lot like me, actually. I think I'm kind of similar to him, or maybe not. I feel cooler than him. But anyway, she uses him to help to actually do the project for her. It'll be like, imagine if I used someone to do my AP Calculus projects for me. I mean, I don't really have projects in the class, but like, whatever. But then, and then also they realize that they're on production for Romeo and Juliet. That's the next scene. And basically she's auditioning for Juliet, and she's thinking that she doesn't even need to memorize the lines because she looks pretty. And the up and up, that's actually working for her. She ends up not having to memorize her lines. Like, she's like, oh, Romeo, Romeo, where are you, Romeo? Instead of, oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or thou wilt not be, but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be Catholic. See, you're not memorize that. Like, she's kind of like, oh, Romeo, Romeo, where are you, Romeo? Deny thy daddy, and I don't know. But basically what happens that the director ends up allowing her to like read the paper and stuff. And again, she looks very pretty. Like the director has like the hots for her kind of, and like it seems like it's going up. But then is when it gets a problem. Like when her friend is really, when this person is really trying to like actually rehearse for the show and stuff. She's just painting her nails. She's just trying to like look pretty and stuff. It's not gonna get her anywhere. There's no shortcut success. She thinks that like acting is 10% how you act and 9% how you look. Trust me. It's not. I'm not a theater major, but I know, I have 2 cents. That's not how you look. That just being pretty is not going to guarantee you access to the most prestigious drama school in the country. I just know that. It's not. And let's see. And then this is the opening night. So not the opening. This is kind of like the rehearsal. And she basically doesn't remember any of her lines. So she basically like, Romeo says, my lips, 2 blushing pilgrims, ready stand. Then she goes and says like, good pigeon. What the heck? It's like, if I saw my school play, I would leave, literally. It's crazy. And then she's like, Romeo. So then basically like I've got some bones and some news. It's total BS. Like she's really not playing Juliet at all. So basically like she doesn't even know her words. Like when they're on the ground. It's not like. And then is when she gets caught red-handed. Basically, is when her physics teacher, actually first when the nerd basically says like I know you used me. I'm not being nice to you anymore. I know you used me. Basically, whatever. I know you used me. I know you had me do your physics project or whatever. And then basically, her teacher's like basically says like, can I sit behind with you? Nelson did her physics project. I'm getting a 0. And then that's when she really realizes, at least now, I need to put the work in. She's basically thinking like to herself like, I need to put the work in. I need to do well. I really need to do well on this show. This is my only chance to prove myself. I can't really impersonate a female voice very hard, but anyway. So then they start working, actually, which makes sense. And then the final opening night, they're like really good. And I'll just see it.
Poison, I see.
See, like she has
then
a
his
fine
timeless end. Oh, Gerald, John Allen left no friendly drop to help me after. Oh, happy dagger.
It's like they're really. It's like she's really good. It's like she's really playing the role. It really feels like you're kind of like in that thing. It's almost like spiritual kind of. It's like it really feels like part of the. It really feels like she really actually like she has the accent, everything. Like she had to work for that. She's like, you can't just magically get a British accent by memorizing how to do it. It takes practice. I could probably learn a British accent if I really wanted to put the time to it. But again, it doesn't really matter. I'm proud of my I guess New York accent, kind of, if you'd even call it that, but like just really like an American accent kind of. And I feel like what's the point, really? I really feel like I have to look at it basically as with everything. Things are worth learning if you want to learn them, basically. Calculus is worth learning if you want to learn calculus. But if you want to learn calculus, you can't just try to cheat your way to the top. You can't just sing a song on how to find integrals and expect that you're going to solve every problem and get 100 on it. It doesn't work that way. Simply, it doesn't. You need to practice it. You need to actually really do it. You need to try different problems. You need to really test out, see the edge cases, see where it works, see where it doesn't work, derive it, try to figure out the formulas using intuition. Don't just try to merely memorize them. Try to figure it out. Try to figure out how this problem is solved. Try to intuitively solve it down, break it down. And that's when it seems like once I see it that way, it seems a lot more intuitive. It really seems kind of in a way, as intuitive as 8th grade math almost, or I'm going to say that way. I wouldn't say as intuitive as 8th grade math. It really seems a lot more intuitive. So basically, it's been 50 minutes now. I'm going to basically say that. So basically, the great takeaways from here. Let's just take away it. So the great takeaways from this experience are, number one, you can only realistically learn a lot with practice. Number two, rote memorization is never the way. Rote memorization is never the way. Else, calc would be super easy, and everyone would know. This is why there are workers on Wall Street who make millions of dollars a year to do applied calculus, basically. 3, never be afraid to ask for help. Ever. Never be afraid to ask for help. People are on your team. People are on your team. You just need to put yourself out there. Yeah, if you need to go to teacher's remediation, do that. If you need to go to your professor's office hours, if you want to actually hire a tutor, do that. Whatever it takes, basically. Whatever will help you learn is not wasting money. You're not tossing any money to trash capital. You're not acting weird. You're not doing anything like that. If you just ask for help when you feel like it's needed. If you don't need a tutor, great. But if you do, don't be afraid. If you just want to go to remediation for a teacher and you think I'll help you, do it. Whatever it takes to help you learn it, do it. There is no problem with getting a bit of extra help. Not one problem whatsoever with that. So, those are basically the 3 biggest things. And the final one, this is kind of like a Dhar Mann style takeaway. This is kind of let's call this our Dhar Mann takeaway from this thing. This is our Dhar Mann takeaway. Let's see. Let's call it this the Dhar. Actually, no. Let's get rid of this numbered list. I think I don't really. I bulleted. I don't even know. Actually, the formatting is pretty off on this. Actually, let's leave it and let's maybe. Yeah, 4. 4 is our Dhar Mann takeaway, let's call it. Dhar Mann takeaway for this will be there is no shortcut to success. You have to put in the work. So this is ultimately what I've learned. And overall, I would say on my channel in the future, what's next for my channel? I'm definitely going to, I feel like when it comes to, make more EVVs, definitely. More EVVs that really show maybe different, trying to solve different calculus problems. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'll see how I feel, basically, because it takes a lot of time. It's part of me feels filming for an hour, kind of just talking over and over again. Just in some ways, it's more or less I say it's in a way like less demanding than making a song, because like I'm really just like, I'm just really talking. I'm really not like, I don't have to warm my voice, make sure it's in the right pitch. I don't have to turn off my P-tack. I don't have to try to just like keep like doing multiple takes and stuff. It's a lot more, it's more relaxed as well. And if I'm learning more, it's better overall. And basically, you just have to see it as it's a challenge, basically. Never give up just because something is hard. Never give up one bit just because something is hard. It is important, it's paramount that you actually then get through it. It's paramount for life, because like in life, nothing's gonna be easy. You can't fear failure. A setback will always lead to success if you embrace it properly. So that's another Dhar Mann takeaway. Another Dhar Mann takeaway. Often, a setback leads to success. To success. Don't be afraid to fail. We all make mistakes. Basically, your GPA is just I wouldn't say just a number, but I would say it's just a measure of like how much you know, really. It shouldn't define you. It's not really remember how smart you are. It should just remember how much you know. So it's like maybe you'll have high GPAs just because they take easy classes and whatever. It's like they have high unweighted GPAs, and it's like just because you're an all-A student doesn't mean you're smart. Just because you're smart doesn't mean you're only a student. It's like they're not really comparable. It's their own thing. It's their own thing, kind of. They're separate. And you have to really look at it that way. You have to see that it's not all about getting straight A's. It's about really challenging yourself, putting yourself through the work. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't skimp out on taking a hard class just because you think your GPA will suffer. You'll reward yourself later. You'll be happier once you can actually get through it. Once you can find a way to like power through it and never lose hope about getting a good grade. Never lose hope. Like I never lost hope. Like I am barely passing right now, but I never lost hope about it. And I'm hoping that like I can bring my grade back up to at least a B and get at least a 4 or 5 in the exam. But like I'm never gonna lose hope. Even if I get a C as my final grade, it's not the end of the world. It's not gonna define me. C's not gonna rescind me. It's a hard class after all. I really have to look at it as it's important that you try your best, but also that you never, ever, ever lose hope. Just only your best is good enough. Really just try your best and you'll make great progress. So overall, I would say I would recommend now that anyone who feels like they can do it attempts AP Calc. If it's hard, fine. You have resources, use them. So anyway, it's been around 58 minutes now, basically closing an hour. I don't want to leave you for too long. So thank you for watching my EVV. And if you've learned anything about basically the fact there's no shortcut to success, there's no magical way to learn calculus, I feel accomplished. I feel like I helped spearhead this into your minds. And whatever you do, just know that in life there will always be challenges. The important thing to do is to always look at them with a positive attitude and understand that it's not everything. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you take something away from this and stay tuned to this channel for more, hopefully more EVVs of some sort or whatever. Whatever I feel like posting. I don't know in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching and have a good day.